All right, let's talk about Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter, obviously top 10 pick by the Eagles, playing in his second preseason game. He had just 2 snaps his first preseason game, and honestly, not a ton of snaps in this one either. We did get to see a little bit more snaps this time at least, so that's nice to see. But all he did was play most of the first series, and that was it. So didn't get to see a ton from Jalen Carter, but from what we did see, let's talk about what he was able to do well and what he maybe needs to improve upon. Let's start off with this play. The play you see on the screen, a very impressive play by Jalen Carter, where it's going to be, the right guard is going to be blocking Jalen Carter one-on-one on this play. But right when it begins, just look at how far back he pushes that right guard. That's just power, which is, that's one of the things about Carter, right? Is that I think he has a lot of great technique, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But he also just has this, the great physical skill set to be able to pull these kind of plays off. Now, he doesn't actually make the tackle on that play or anything, but it just kind of, to me, is a good example of just showing what he's capable of doing. And let's just be honest, at the end of the day, it's the preseason. We don't really care about what the results you're generating are as much as we care about what you're showing you're capable of doing. And the fact that he's showing he's capable of doing these kind of things and showing off his athleticism and things of that nature, that's definitely what's probably gotten you excited if you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan. Also going over here, what's going to happen on this play is it's going to be a one-on-one block here for Jalen Carter, but this time it's a passing play. So, okay, that's kind of one thing that we talked about with Jalen Carter is a lot of times these, hyped up interior defensive linemen are more of just run stuffers, which not that there's any shame in being a good run-stuffing defensive lineman, but obviously the ones who, I feel like the ones who sell tickets and get their jerseys sold tend to be the guys who can also rush the passer, and that's certainly something that Carter has been billed as being someone who can do. So this play, going to be a one-on-one block. Let's see what he does here. Right off the bat, the guard sticks his right arm out, and Carter avoids it pretty quickly. He's able to use his left hand to kind of swipe it away to where now that right hand is not attached to where, the guard wants it to be, and he's a little out of position. Carter has gotten closer towards the top of the screen than the guard is, and he's going to try to take advantage of that. Now, I think the guard here does a pretty good job of, adjusting nicely and getting over, to a position where he can still try to make this block. But you see Carter's left hand, right? It's on the right side of that right guard. And he's able to push off and, isn't quite able to get to the quarterback. So what do we take from this? What is our interpretation of it? You could certainly argue it both ways. You could say, hey, I don't care what you're doing. If you're not getting to the quarterback, you're not getting to the quarterback. It's better to get to the quarterback than to look impressive not getting to the quarterback. I think you could also sit here and say, well, he showed some pretty nice moves there and some pretty nice hands there. He just wasn't quite able to finish off any of these select moves, but he still showed some nice things. I think the other way you could take this is kind of splitting the difference a little bit and saying, okay, listen, he showed some nice things. He also, at the end of the day, has to get to the quarterback. And this is exactly why, in my opinion, you should have your young players out there playing a good amount of preseason snaps, is because they can learn how to do these things. They can learn that, yeah, at the NFL level, you got to be quicker than you do at the college level. That's just how it works. Do I think this is a good play? Do I think this is a bad play? I kind of think it's a good play. He's still showing off his good hands, and to me, that's still exciting, even if he maybe needs to move a little bit quicker sometimes at the, I think he'll learn how to do that. Also, let's head over to this play. So it's going to happen here. It's going to be a double team. You're going to have the center and left guard block him, as this is going to be a running play right here on the second down and 10, and watch what happens. Right off the bat, I would say this is a good double team, but also Carter doesn't get massively moved out of position. Don't get me wrong, Cleveland has him where they want him, right? They absolutely do. They literally have him where they want him. But, Carter hasn't gotten himself completely wiped out of the play either. This play is really going to come down to, in my opinion, how does Carter go from here? What does he, how does he react, and how is he able to try and fight and get into the play? And as you see, I say he does a pretty good job. He drives that guard pretty far back and is able to help, make that play, gets a hand on the ball carrier. I don't think he gets credit for a tackle on that one, but still, hey, a positive impact is a positive impact. Most people judge based on tape evaluation, not based on tackles, although there's still probably some people who judge based on tackles, and they should stop doing that. But as a whole, this is, again, another very good play, I would say, from Jalen Carter. There was also this one, which is, I think, worth talking about. It's an interesting play. So you have Carter, who's going to be obviously the interior defensive lineman, and it's a twist right here, meaning his job is to really get the right guard over towards the bottom of the screen. That's what you want to do here. Every now and then something opens up that allows him to get straight through to the quarterback, but typically what you do is hopefully the center is blocking towards the top of the screen, and then you have a situation where you move the guard towards the bottom of the screen. The edge rusher, Nolan Smith, he can run in between the center and the guard. There's no one in the way, and he can get towards the quarterback. However, watch what happens with Carter. Just watch him. Watch him do a really good job until he gets just crushed by the center. He just didn't see him, which you got to be more aware of it. And, again, guys at the NFL, they just move a lot quicker. So, I think he did a very good job at getting the guard out of the way and kind of doing the beginning part that he needed to do. I mean, the reality is, if the center was blocking towards the top of the screen, this would have been a great play from Jalen Carter. It's also a negative, though, because just he didn't see the center, and he ended up getting completely knocked out of the way, meaning that not only did he not clear out a straight shot for Smith, which really wasn't going to happen anyway at that point, but he also got himself taken out of the play. And that is important because, in these types of situations, you are the contain man at that point. There's no edge rusher. So if the quarterback got outside the pocket, he would have had all day to make a throw. So, again, a negative, but also he certainly showed some flashes of, really high positives as well. So yeah, I mean, as a whole, again, there's a lot to like about his game. To me, I think this is mostly optimistic. Every time I see Jalen Carter, I just feel like he's going to be successful. Assuming the off-the-field issues don't end up being a massive, reason why he can't play, he's going to be successful. He's going to be an effective player for the Philadelphia Eagles. What I see on the field, again, some of these bigger defensive linemen, sometimes they don't hit right away. Sometimes it takes them a year or two to hit, although it looks like he's, from what I've seen, I bet he would hit right away. I bet he will be successful as a rookie. But even if he isn't, I think he still will be successful. He's shown me enough flashes to where I am certainly betting on him to succeed at this point. I would have him play more preseason. That's kind of the one thing that, my one nitpick is I like having young players play a lot of preseason. I think it makes sense. I get that the Eagles are trying to win a Super Bowl, so they don't want to risk injury, and I guess I understand that logic. I would just like to get him a little more pro-ready, a little quicker, is how I would view it. But yeah, other than that, no critiques other than that, really, no major ones. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.